Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urius Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And today we are going to be talking about the spell Aura of Vitality. And yes, we got a camera. I got a new camera. We are trying to look at that spot right there. And I'm going to be pretty much looking at the screen I got in front of me because I've got what you're looking at. I'm looking at the same thing. So we're going to be looking at Aura of Vitality. This is the legacy version. We're going to be comparing and contrasting this to the 2024 version. And we're going to be looking at spells, or not spells, but classes that can use this. And we're going to be giving both of them a grade. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or a comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right, so we've got Aura Vitality. It is a 3rd level spell, 1 action, 30-foot radius around self. It is a verbal component only, lasts for a minute, has concentration, usable by paladins, Oath of the Crown paladins, Battlesmith artificers, and Twilight Domain clerics. So it was a general spell for paladins, but very specific for a couple other classes, the artificer and the cleric. So when you cast a spell, you got this aura around you. You could use a bonus action to cause one creature, including you, to regain 2d6 hit points. That was it. So back in the day, I gave this spell I gave it a B+. I don't think it's worth a B+. At the time, 2014 legacy version of Dungeons & Dragons was really starved for healing. And I think they have corrected that. And I think they have buffed all of that. So now, not so much. I'm going to reevaluate this, and I'm going to end up giving this, we got a little arrow we're going to put in here. I'm going to end up giving this a B-. Again, I look at some factors with each spell on whether and how we're going to grade them. Am I going to use this every single turn? Maybe, maybe not. Is it part of a build? Kind of. This isn't necessarily like the Cure Wounds is definitely part of builds. Is this something that's going to really impact the party? 2d6 could be good in a pinch. Don't get me wrong, that could be good in a pinch, but it is only 2d6 hit points. It's a bonus action with this, so you could be casting other spells. Most of those healing spells are not concentration, so it's a little bit of extra healing. So, I just think compared to other 3rd level spells that you could be taking as a paladin or a Twilight Domain cleric, there's probably better spells. Okay, so that is Aura of Vitality, the legacy version. This is Aura of Vitality, the 2020 version. It's still a 3rd level spell, still 1 action, still a range of self, a verbal component, still lasts for a minute, and is still concentration. It is an abjuration spell, and it always was an abjuration. This was an evocation spell before. Now it's an abjuration spell, which changes some things if you can figure out a way to combine this with the Abjuration Wizard, which we love the Abjuration Wizard. It is now usable by clerics, druids, and paladins, so they added 2 base classes in here, and it is on the list for Oath of Crown paladins and also for Twilight Domain clerics. So it's on the list. They don't need to be prepared for Twilight Domain clerics, but the clerics and druids now get it as a base spell. So you cast the spell, 30-foot emanation, they kind of redefine that around you. When you create the aura and at the start of each of your turns, while it persists, you can restore 2d6 hit points to one creature in it. That also includes yourself. So, based on the fact that 2 classes now can use this spell, and they took away the bonus action part and the fact that they made this an abjuration, we are going to move this up to a solid B. Are there still 3rd level spells that I, as a cleric or a druid, that I would rather take other than this one? Yes. This is still only a little bit of healing. It's not a lot. There are ways to manipulate that healing, but there are other spells that I would rather have up than this one. So things like Spirit Guardians, that, and because it's concentration, you also have to ask, are there other third level spells, or are there other concentration spells I'd rather have up other than Aura of Vitality? And the answer to that is yes. Now, clerics can use this, and it is a healing spell. I've got Life Domain up. It is good with Discipline of Life basically once. So when you cast a spell with the spell slot, yes, it's a spell. Yes, it takes a spell slot. You restore hit points to a creature. Yep. And that creature regains additional hit points on the turn you cast the spell. So for the first turn, when you cast this spell, there's 2d6 hit points that get restored. And then you get your bonus to that too, because that happens when you cast the spell. So it's 2 plus the spell slot level. So it's an extra 5. 2d6 on average is 7. So it'd be 12 if you were a Life Domain. I'm not sure if that's worth it or not. Now, the Twilight Cleric gets this on their list. So there it is right there. It's on their list. Leomund's Tiny Hut is also on the list too. But Leomund's Tiny Hut is a ritual spell. And I think it's worth it for Twilight Domain Clerics to get it, because in addition to the healing you can now do every turn for free. So when you cast it and every turn, you also get your temporary hit points that you can give out at the end of a creature's turn. So the sphere moves with you and lasts a minute or until you're incapacitated. Whenever a creature ends its turn in the sphere, and it is a 30-foot radius sphere, so it overlaps with the Aura of Vitality, and it's not a spell, so you don't have to worry about concentration on Twilight Sanctuary, you grant a creature temporary hit points equal to 1d6 plus your cleric level. That is awesome. So they get temporary hit points, and they get some healing, which is great. Now, another class, and if you can figure out how to work this in with Sorcerer, then, take some levels of Cleric, take some levels of Sorcerer. You get Empowered Healing starting at 6th level. The Divine Energy coursing through you can empower healing spells. Whenever you or an ally within 5 feet of you rolls dice to determine the number of hit points a spell restores, you can spend 1 sorcery point to reroll any number of those dice. So I don't know if that's worth using on 2 dice, but that is a feature that you can use. And lastly, the Celestial Patron Warlock has a few things. They have this pool of 6-sided dice. You gain the ability to channel and heal wounds. So as a bonus action, you can heal yourself or one creature within 60 feet, expending dice. So you can spend your bonus action now. And if you could figure out how to work this in with Warlock, you could have an Aura of Vitality in addition, which would heal more. So all in all, it's an okay spell. It's a B. There are other spells that I would rather take than Aura of Vitality. I'm not knocking the spell at all. We're giving it a straight B, whereas we had revised our original grade to a B- on the Legacy version. They did expand the classes that could use it. It is an Abjuration spell, which means it will proc off the Abjuration wizard stuff, and it does some healing. So, all right, that is what I have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.